Let's get started. Thank you so much everyone for coming. This is definitely one of the busy months, so I know you guys have a lot to do, but thank you so much for this 1 hour for our visiting scholar. As a lot of you know, we have 2 visiting scholars this year at UCL. We have Sophie, we have Yanli Liu. Yanli Liu only stays us with 6 months, but let me tell you, she works next to me Monday to Wednesday in the CEAS Library. This 6 months, she works really hard. And then Thursday, Friday, she's in HSL. Laurie, Leslie, people from HSL people can also tell you, but she is an achiever. So today, she's going to talk about A, her experience in UCL, what she has learned, B, her 2 projects. One is with the CEAS Library, one is with the HSL with Tiffany. And then last thing we could do is just chat with her, but also feel free to tell us your library, your work at the China Academy of Science Library. So that's it, let's get started.
Thank you.
And also beverage and snacks, please. Enjoy.
Thank you, Hong. Thank you for
your introduction. Today I will briefly introduce my 2 projects here. During last faculty meeting, I introduced our data services in our library. If you are interested, I can briefly introduce that part today. So this is the agenda of today's presentation. First is my learning and development experience in CEAS Library and HSL, and the second part is the first project. It's a citation analysis project. The third part is the data management services survey. I have attended, I have joined, and I also was assisting workshop for the undergraduates during summer. And the fourth part is my I exchanged our experiences in our library, focused on the data services. So let me start. The first part is my learning experience here. I joined several workshops. You can see the title. First one is the Jupyter Notebooks and the RedCap, OpenRefine. I think OpenRefine is very useful because in the first project, the citation analysis, I used OpenRefine a lot. I use it to do the data cleanup and the text cluster. It's very useful. I strongly recommend this tool or this software to you to use it. So also the data visualization workshop, I think it's very useful. I learned several types of graphs and charts, and maybe I never seen or something like that. I think it broadened my my side. And the QGIS is a tool or software to do the map work, and it's an open source software. We can download it for free, and we can try to make our own maps. The story maps is also a map tool. It's very useful for life. You can use it to draw a picture map to show your tours all around the world, to show your friends or your colleagues the pictures you take when you are on vacation. I also joined some workshops in HSL. One is the bioinformatics seeking and finding data. Tiffany gave the lecture, and in CEAS Library, I attended some workshops of Python, MATLAB, and let me think, R. Yeah. So all of it's a lot of workshops. I really love to attend such workshops to learn new tools, new software, because I am very interested in programming. Yeah, I like to know some new tools to achieve some new results. So this is my learning and development experience here. The second part is the citation analysis project. Let me briefly introduce the citation analysis. Maybe you know it. Let me briefly introduce. Citation analysis. Why do we do it? We can do it to help our decision making. The citation analysis can ensure our resources we purchased are being used efficiently and effectively. So this is for our library. It also can use to be evaluate or to assess the marketing to report. We can use citation analysis to report success and accomplishments to show the success and accomplishments. So the third one is we can use the citation analysis to demonstrate to the founders and the clients that the service is delivering the benefits expected when the investment was made. So this is maybe the reason. And what is the citation analysis? The mechanism is to determine if the collection is meeting its objectives and how well it's serving its users, in which ways or areas it's deficient, and what remains to be done to develop the collection, and how to allocate the collections or access funds. So this is the goal of the citation analysis. So we in July, Hong and me are talking about to do this kind of analysis to help our librarians or our library decision makers to know how our collections are used effectively or deficiently, what kinds of collections are most effectively used. So this is our goal. So after discussion with Ted, we decided to make a citation analysis of Department of Mathematics, Science, and the Department of Physics at UC. Our data is from Web of Science database, especially the core collection database, not all the database because there are so many databases. We only use the core collection database and also the Scopus. We merged the data from both databases. And the tools or software used are OpenRefine, just like I mentioned. I use it a lot, and the Tableau. I heard that Yumao is an expert on Tableau. Maybe I have some question. Maybe you can help me. Tableau, yeah, and the Note, Excel, and some other online word cloud tool. I will show you some pictures of each kind of charts. These are the searching strategies for each department. One is the Department of Physics, and the second one is for the Department of Mathematics, Science. And we chose the year range is from 2008 and 2018. It's almost 10 years. We think it's enough to get some reasonable results. So the data of the results is like that. There are 605 records for Department of Physics, and there are 791 records for Department of Mathematics Science. So this is the data and the tool and the searching strategy. So let me introduce the workflow of the whole process of the citation analysis. First, we try our searching strategy in Web of Science database and get the citation data. We downloaded all the citation data, including reference data, because usually we only download the citation data, including title, author, affiliation, or abstract keywords, something like that. We don't usually download the reference. But during in citation analysis, the reference data is the most important part. So we do a lot of job to cleaning up the reference data. And we also download the citation data from the Scopus database. And then, because there are so many duplicates for both database, maybe one paper is in Web of Science database and it's also in the database Scopus. So we try the VLOOKUP function in Excel to remove the duplicates. So this is one part of the data cleaning up. And then after removing the duplicates, we merged the data from both databases. And then we extract the publication source title, and we extract the authors, institutions, and keywords, funding information, and especially cited reference data. And then we use OpenRefine. During this period, we use it a lot, and we use it a lot. And we use OpenRefine to clean up each fields, the source, the authors, and the institutions, keywords. Each fields we use OpenRefine to clean up the data, and then we get the clean data, and then we use the Tableau and word cloud to get some visualization results. So let me put the cited reference as a special workflow, because it's the most difficult part of the citation analysis is the cited reference data process and the data cleaning up. Yeah, so I put it here to show the workflow for the cited reference analysis. We start from the Web of Science cited reference, because they are different. Their formats of the cited reference, they are quite different. So we couldn't just merge. Before merge, we should do some cleaning up job. So first from Web of Science records to export the cited reference into EndNote. And we download the cited reference from Scopus into Excel. So different tools, because their formats are quite different. So we used EndNote to make a new output style. Maybe it's a file. It's a style file. Use this style file, we can export the information we want. And then we export using this output style to export the cited reference into Excel. Do you want to see the Excel file?
Yeah. Sure.
Sorry. Okay. Where's the mouse? Okay. Yeah. let me open the EndNote. It's very simple. The output style is very simple. Oh, okay. Yeah. Very simple. Okay, I couldn't see this screen is, yeah. Okay, maybe this one. Yeah. No. No. This screen is not wide enough, so some contents are missing. Maybe I can. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. The output style is just the notes. Why? We can see the we can see the records in EndNote, because in the field of notes they're listed all the reference for each paper. So we make the output style only export the notes field, so we can get the reference information, and then the problem is solved. And it's very simple, but you should know EndNote can solve this kind of problem. I also used Excel to merge several Excel files into one, because we can't use an Excel split column to deal with the cited reference from Scopus. Or maybe it's too detailed, maybe. So I can just introduce all the workflow for the whole process of the citation analysis. So through the EndNote and the Excel Visual Basic, we can get the very structured cited reference, and then we can merge them. So we can get the final merged cited reference like this. The first column is the author. The second column is the year. We can also see there are some maybe noise. Yeah, maybe it's not. There's something missing, so the column very messy. And the column C is the source title, or the journal title, or the conference title, and this is the volume. This is the DOI and the pages. We just use the column B and column C. Okay. So then we get the structured cited references. So let me show you some results. I used OpenRefine to get several categories of the reference. One is the journal, and another is the proceedings and thesis, and these are the each category of the references. We can see the records number. Of course, the journal is the most used citations. There's a problem, or we can call a challenge, because we cannot tell the machine to recognize which is a journal, which is a proceeding, which is a report or monograph. Because if we do manually, we can tell. But you should tell machine how to do it, how to recognize. But there's no unique characteristics for each kind of reference. Because we maybe use journal or J dot to extract the journal information. But let us look at the right picture. This is a journal, but there's no keywords for the journals. The proceedings are also very difficult to extract. So this is a challenge. This data maybe there are some errors because we still have 3,000 reference. We cannot recognize if it's a journal or conference or something else. So this is the job. Maybe I can figure it out in the future. And this is the publication title vs. year. The first one is the physical review D. This is the most cited journal for Department of Physics, and the different color tells us different years. I'm sorry, this is the publication. I'm sorry, not cited. This is the journal name the researchers in this department publish their papers on. I'm sorry. This is the publication title vs. year. And this is the, I'm sorry, I put the wrong position. Oh, this is the cited journals and vs. year, the distribution with the year. So we can see that, I can't see the title. So, so the researchers in the Department of Physics, they cited the first journal mostly in maybe 2012, and we can see the year range and to decide which year should be purchased. So I think it can be used to judge, to evaluate the year range of our collection.
Can you slow down? What do you mean by you can decide which year purchase?
Oh, I mean, because this is the researchers in Department of Physics, they cited each journal. Yeah, from, for example, the first row, the researchers cited this journal from maybe not that from 1988 to now. Okay. Yeah. Before 1988, they didn't cite it.
But let's say if the 2012 is higher than 2011 numbers, what does that mean? You mentioned something purchased.
Yeah.
Someone else from the TED can help me understand this. What is the applicable?
If you don't have online access to the archive for the journal, that could be something to consider if you were to purchase the archive, because if they're making some disciplines make heavy use of the older literature. So this is to kind of see a trend that maybe we want to say, instead of them having to go use the print copy of the archive that's in compact shelving in the lower level GMP, we go and we make an investment into the online archive. So it's kind of a general trend. I think that's, is that what you were, were you also thinking?
Yeah, I mean, if the number is, the citation number is higher, it means the researchers use it a lot, use it more than other years. Yeah. Before 1988, the researchers during the because our data is from 2008 and to 2018. We didn't analyze the paper before 2008, so it's limited. If we want to do, we can to download all years to analyze the citation they used. Yeah. This is the author analysis. It's very simple. It's one-dimension analysis. We can see in this department which author published, how many papers they published.
Do they aware of this data department? Do they aware?
This is something you have to be careful of.
Yeah. I will skip it very quick.
It's another piece of data that you want to try and analyze.
The PR office should have the way aware of this data.
They may have access to it through one of there's some university systems that look at publication analysis as well.
Okay, this is the collaborative institutions with this department.
Co-authors, right? right?
Yeah, co-authors. And the first one is the DOE, and yeah. We can also analyze by country or district to get the collaborative institution. This is the funding analysis. We can see these 605 papers. They are supported by what kind of funding agencies? Or yeah, we can see the distribution. The first one is the NSF, and also DOE and NASA.
So, Ted, what is the University of Cincinnati funding? What is that funding? The third one, the fourth one. Is that internally?
Maybe, maybe because during the data cleanup, I delete something. There are some grant for young people or something like that. Yeah, I delete the
Internal funding?
yeah, internal funding.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, this is the word cloud. We extract the keywords, both author keywords and the indexing keywords to make the word cloud. This is from these are the keywords from 2008 to 2012. We can see some. We'd like to see some change with the science and technology development, because the biggest one is the growth and the spectroscopy. Maybe it's a professional word. And from 2012 to 2018, there are some changes. Maybe some experts on this area can explain why. There are some challenges because the cited reference data are very messy. This is one example of the cited reference from Scopus. We could have used the comma to split the data into columns, but the number of columns of commas are different for different reference. For example, the first from the same column, there are 5 commas, but there are 4 commas. So we can't use just split it into columns. So it's very difficult. So most of my time are spent on cleaning up all the reference data. It's very time consuming.
Manually?
No. I try to teach the machine to recognize. Yeah. Sometimes manually, but not that much. There are some restrictions of the citation analysis because if a paper or conference paper or journal paper was cited by 10 times by one author, or a journal paper or a conference paper was cited by 10 authors, each time is 1, and the total time cited is 10. I think they are different, quite different. So maybe the latter one is generally considered to be more necessary to be purchased. Maybe. I'm wondering. So in this project, we didn't distinguish these 2 categories because it's too time consuming, and I'm still trying to find some way to do it fast.
It's interesting. Yanli, I point out the 2 red colored the caveats you point out has been mentioned by the global higher education university ranking. Because over the university ranking, there is the citation analysis indicating the research power of the institution. It is precisely point out is how to count.
Yeah, it's very important. So this is the project of citation analysis. On the same results obtained for the Department of Mathematics. I'm still working on it because there are several, maybe 3 graphs. I still need to clean up the data. The third part of my presentation is the data management services survey and the workshops. During I was in HSL, I was assisting Tiffany with the data service survey. My job is to investigate the literatures about data services survey from other universities. I am trying to add some more valuable questions to our data service survey. For example, we add the question about the researchers' awareness of UC libraries providing the services that are listed. This is a map showing what do I do during the literature investigation. I put a green flag in front of the question because I think maybe this question is more valuable to add to the survey, the questionnaire. So I also learned to use the red cap to make an online questionnaire. During summer, I assisted Amy to co-teach the data management workshop. I teach a little, maybe 5 minutes, very little. And I was leading the undergraduate students to watch a video. The video is very funny. It's to simulate two researchers' dialogue. And there are some snuffs, questions or problems during they are doing the data management. I'm assisting to lead the students to understanding the necessity of data management. After watching the video, they said, "Oh, data management is very important for us." So I think this style, the teaching style, is very, very interested. It attracted the students a lot. Yes. The final part of the presentation is I exchanged our library's experience on data services with some colleagues, both engineering library and medicine library. This is the presentation cover, and I introduced our data management curriculum framework. It includes 9 lessons and 3 practices, and I also introduced our data services. One is the data cloud of CEAS, and another is the geospatial data cloud, and this one is a data journal to publish data, not paper. It's just published data. So that's all. And at the end, I would really appreciate all the help from the people who have contributed ideas, comments, and data visualization support to this project. Ted, thank you very much. Ted helped me a lot. I learned a lot from him. And Hong, of course, yeah, she is always very willing to help me. And Laurie, Amy, Tiffany, Richard, and Dawn, I really appreciate their help. So finally, this is a Chinese poem. 海上生明月，天涯共此时. It means, as the bright moon shines over the sea, from far away you, my friend, share this moment with me. Thank you. Well.
so much, Yanli.
Can I have some questions?
Yes, it's
Sure.
Q&A time and chat time. Also, feel free to ask her anything, not just what she presents today, anything like maybe her experience in Cincinnati or USA too.
The first question, Yanli, is for you, and also I like this question engage Ted and your team as well. So for the citation analysis project, will you take this back to your home institution, and how do you going to apply to your work in your Academy of Science or your team? That's a question for you. Second, I want to hear from Ted. What the Yanli has been researched and done for the citation analysis, are there any practical value for our team here? And they can be applied to our practice here. So,
First
Yanli
question.
first.
Yeah. During 2000 and maybe 13 or 14, there are some projects for each institute in CEAS. Our library, subject library, helped the library in their institutes to do the citation analysis, to make assessment or evaluation of their collections in their library. Yeah, we have already done this kind of job in China. Yeah, to maybe every 3 years there are 2014 and 2016. Almost all of the institutes in CEAS have done this job to evaluate their collection. Not only journal, but also monograph and proceedings. Yeah. Yeah, thank you.
So I can say that citation analysis is very messy.
Yeah.
I think you kind of
Yeah.
saw that. And that data from the producers of the data is not always clean. So I mean, the bulk of the work, which kind of learn over time, is that you have to do data analysis and cleaning before you get to a visualization. That's like the very, very end.
Yeah.
And it's too bad, because the cleaning part is very interesting, but it's not as, let's say, it's not as appealing to a broad audience in some ways. But I was really impressed. You were able to apply many tools, and so I think a workflow that incorporates many different tools, many open source tools, I think that that's very useful for us into the future as we look at what is a role for a new librarian in kind of working with this and being efficient in doing citation analysis, because I can remember a few years ago doing things where it was very manually based, where you did things with Excel, and it was really very time intensive to try to do a lot of typing and cleaning of that. The reason we chose this particular project was that I wanted to get a step ahead with the new librarian that that should be starting this fall. And the physics and math were two areas where we've had a little less outreach. And so I felt like this was going to help give some kind of baseline to understand usage of the literature to help that new librarian. So that's where, I mean, there is a lasting impact that's there, but it becomes a research project that then, you've been able to kind of provide some things with, and it might be a kind of a continuing effort where your work has been able to fulfill some kind of a research effort that maybe a librarian can continue to build on working with you. The challenge that we have with our institution is that we had a meaningful amount of data from both Scopus and Web of Science, whereas at CASH you have just Web of Science. And so that was the challenge we ran into, was that at first I said, well, if there's not enough results coming from Scopus, let's just skip over that and make it easy with one database. Well, we found a meaningful enough number of results that then that was the inherent challenge. So we are blessed to have many databases, but that also means we discover a lot of records that then you have to clean up the metadata that's in there. But I also think that these tools and the coding that's incorporated with that can really help to make this a more efficient and doable process for emerging librarians. So I think that that's where you kind of see the long-term value.
Did you look at research directory to see if they had any meaningful data that was already cleaned?
That's not always consistent.
Yeah.
And, you know, so.
I'm not
yeah,
saying
right.
you should
But
have,
we were
I'm just-
trying, yeah, of course. I mean, we were trying to focus on tools that could have some comprehension to them. And so, but that's always a challenge because people are publishing all kinds of places now.
Yeah.
So I already think ahead to, okay, if I was to show this to the physics faculty, the math faculty, they'll start poking holes in it and say, well, I publish in this open repository and archive or whatever else. So we're always going to be missing something because not everything is scraped by indexing sources.
Yeah, and research directory would not have the citations. It would just have the publications,
Yeah.
right? And I think the citation part is really, really interesting because that's showing what our researchers are using to do their own research, so.
But it might be able to enrich when it's talking about grant funding.
Yeah, I mean, you could tell where, yeah, you could tell their grants, yeah. I'm a little worried about the publications that are in research data because I don't think enough of our faculty are going in and actually verifying that it's their stuff. I mean, the last time I checked, there's an LC Schick that publishes in nutrition, and then there's somebody else that publishes in like plant botany. It's not me, but it was appearing in my research directory.
Even with my name, there are
Yeah.
a couple of people publishing things like
Yeah.
scorpions and
Yeah, so I have to remember to go in periodically and say, this is me, this isn't me.
One thing that, one more comment was that Yanli and I discussed all the different metadata fields that were available on databases and trying to figure out what might be the value of those. So some things you saw like collaborating institution, funding source, we didn't necessarily have a lot of analysis we were going to do. We figured we've got the data, let's go ahead and gather it, and we can have some meaning maybe for the informationists, for other people down the road, so that we've said, okay, we've gathered the data, so let's go ahead and have that, but we don't necessarily try to go to as great of a degree of analysis and visualization.
Thank you, Ted.
I enjoyed your presentation, and it's interesting. I'm coming from a humanities background, and so we have questions that are more having to do with the big picture. I can understand citation analysis from a information professional, the need for that. But what I wonder, is there any way that the scholar might be able to use citation analysis to bring together points of data that could direct needed research or further resource? Is that clear? Or I've got a fuzzy question, I realize. But
So Rosemary, you're talking about the research can use citation to identify the hot trending and those kind of the
not just
spot.
hot and trendy, but also holes that need to be filled.
holes. Yeah, good.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
And identify collaborators at different
And
institutions.
definitely
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
you know.
Do you understand question, Yanli?
The researchers, of course, they can use this citation analysis to get some useful results for their research.
Yeah, actually, I want to introduce to the audience. I know Chinese library has this practice. Explain to us what is the 查询 you're doing. Okay. What you're doing for 查询? 查询 is exactly try to address this question. Go ahead to explain.
Okay. The novelty searching is
It's called a
is a kind of service.
novelty searching.
Novelty
This is,
searching.
by the way, this is a mandate responsibility every higher education in China give to the library. Let her explain. This is mandate responsibility from the VPR office to give to the library. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So the researchers will give us their study area or innovation. They should tell me what is innovative about their research. We will try the keywords. And not only they provide it, but we will try to find some other keywords to cover this area, to search all the papers and patents and all the published information on the website, to prove it or not new or not novel. Yeah, we are trying to find the related literature to prove it new or not novel, old. Yeah, we will give them a result. Your study, if there are already some other people, they are doing this research. Yeah, and sometimes, always they want to get this report from us to submit this report to the funding organization to prove their study of novel or yeah.
And that's the
novel.
Toshi part?
Pardon me?
That's the Toshi part?
It's called Chaxin.
Tashi?
Chaxin meaning, literally meaning search for the novelty. Yeah, search for the novelty.
Novelty, yeah.
Yeah, basically.
Originality.
Yeah, originality and redundancy.
It's hard,
Whether
yeah.
you're really research on some cutting
Yeah, it's a
edge.
service.
And
It's very
actually,
special in
it's
China.
so, she did not explain this part, it's so beautiful. Because university mandate this go to the library, all the researchers has to get the stamp from the reference information list team to stamp this. Every stamp, guess what? Library cover the money. But every stamp, because libraries done the job, so university pay every stamp $500 to the library.
Good. Real security.
More than
Sorry,
more than 500.
Go ahead.
Does this also
Not
apply
dollar.
to the historians?
I don't know. That is Chaxin applied to the Wenke, humanities, social science.
Our library is not doing the.
Her library.
Because I could see the value of this in the sciences.
It's
But
stamp.
for instance, in history,
No.
the monograph is supreme,
Yeah.
not the journal article. And most historians, if they churn out 2 monographs in their entire career, it's considered phenomenal.
Yeah, and also history, humanities, this kind of subjects is so subjective to the human innovation. It's very hard to quantify this. So,
Serendipity.
I mean, people are still writing about Napoleon, you know?
I think it's a STEM
And they're
field.
never going to stop writing about Napoleon.
Ted, you want the Chaxin go to you?
Well, just.
Yeah, he does.
No, you know who can do that is Rebecca. Get Rebecca to do genomic patent searching and all that, because that's her expertise. I want to ask, are they mostly PhDs that are doing this?
Master.
Master's level, and then about what's your time turnaround? That you, how much time do you have to do one of these searches?
It depends on how many novelty points.
Sure.
We call
Okay.
it novelty points.
Okay.
One point is a special study area, very special and very specific. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the inkjet on the printer. Maybe some researchers they put forward a very new method to manufacture inkjet, the head of the printer. Yeah, very specific, and it depends on the number of the points. The more the points are, the time is longer.
Yeah, so it's
Depends
like
on
a
the-
systematic review.
Yeah.
With a legal
Exactly.
perspective.
Yeah. If there are, and it also depends on the searching range. Because there are some researchers, they only want to search the literature in China, and most of the researchers they like to search all the literatures all around the world. Yeah. So if the range, if the database, we'd like to search more database, longer time. Yeah. If there are 2 points, and for the both China and international, maybe 2 business days, 2 or 3 business days to search it. to fulfill all the, because not only searching, but we should also to complete a report. In this report, we have to list all the related literatures, not all the literatures, only the related literatures, and we also give the comparison between the researchers, their paper, and the related literatures, and then there's a conclusion.
Yanli, I'm going to ask a totally different question.
Sure.
What is the most memorable event or experience you have for your 6 months with our city, Cincinnati, or with our university?
Could I say two?
Oh, yes. Okay, serious.
One is the party in the, I don't know the park name.
Okay, I know.
August, yeah.
The park.
Yeah, the park, yeah.
Yeah, the cookout party.
Yeah,
library
I love
party.
it. I love it. We're like a family, very relaxed and talk to the people, because maybe in office you have no time or no opportunity to chat with other people. Oh, I feel very, very relaxed, and I love I love that the party. And the second one is my tour to Chicago. I like the constructions, all the buildings. I enjoy the tour in Chicago. These two impressed me.
Anything about Cincinnati?
I'm sorry, it's not Cincinnati. Sure. Let me think about another one. I'm sorry. Oh, you mean
City. You mean city.
Oh. Oh, I like the campus. Yesterday, home and I during the lunch, we walk around the campus. I saw a lot of, maybe they are the
That was the study abroad.
Yeah, I don't know the name.
Welcome event.
Yeah, but I saw a lot of students. I feel very energetic. I feel I like 10 years younger. Yeah, I like the campus. Yeah, because during summer I experienced a very quiet campus. When the new semester comes, I feel very excited. I told home during the WeChat. Yeah.
And also just to fill that chat, I did bring Yanli to Skyline Chili.
Did you like it? Did you like it?
Yeah.
So actually, I say she's speaking Cincinnati.
Yeah. Sorry. Sorry. Yeah, I like the campus. I hope I could stay longer to feel the energetic atmosphere here. Thank you all.
But thank you for your experience.
Thank you all.
A gift from us to Yanli. Can share out, and Leslie, please.
Okay, sure.
Oh, I'm so fat. Thank you.
And also, even though
You want to
Yanli,
take a photo?
yes, Yanli will
thank you.
send her
A lot of small.
Yanni, put your word cloud on the background.
Oh.
Yeah, that's
I also want to say, even though Yanli's going to leave Cincinnati soon, but the friendship with Yanli should never end. And I will share with you her CEAS email, so please get in touch with her. And if you happen to be in Beijing, that's where Yanli is.
Sure.
Look at the word cloud. This beautiful word cloud from the citation. Okay, come here, take a photo with me. And you're in the middle.
Let me give it again.
Yeah, give us first.
And I'll tell you about it.
All right. Okay, 1, 2, 3. All right.
I would move to the right. You guys all have like big words on your side.
Okay,
Ted, come here.
Can I go under?
Oh, you're
You on your face?
It's still on my face.
It's good there? Almost there. Okay.
But you don't want that word cloud on your head. No. At one point it said hell as well.
Okay.
Thank
Totally
you.
Good, thank you. Yanni, thank you for much.
Yeah, I don't.
Do you want to do the blog or anything else about publishing? I thought I was going to write a blog entry, but.
Oh, no. No, but send it to me first.
I only use Citation about when I have to. But my department is moving over here in the next 2 weeks. I've just been moved this around from one to the other. So I have a new staff member starting on the 15th and we're making because that's a totally new position. So,
Well, thank you all of you for coming. I want to say final words for the Yanni before we go.
program me if I don't. Okay.
I actually
No, I haven't.
personally interviewed Yanni about 3 years ago.
Yes,
When her director proposed she come to our library to
Just give
exchange.
me a little bit of time.
But after interview, she had some family arrangement, marriage, everything happened, so she delayed the trip. Now I'm very glad she finally come, and finally come very fruitfully, not only exchange with her baby as well. So thank you, Yanni, for the great experience. We wish you luck.
I will miss you all.
Okay, thank you.